Chapter 3, problem number 6. In a football game, a kicker attempts a field goal. The ball remains in contact with the kicker's foot for 0.050 seconds, during which time it experiences an acceleration of 340 meters per second squared. The ball is launched at an angle of 51 degrees above the ground. Determine the horizontal and vertical components of the launch velocity. So the ball is kicked and launched at an angle which is 51 degrees. So theta is 51 degrees. And that kick causes it to accelerate at this very high value of 340 meters per second squared. Now we can break the acceleration up into its x and y parts because acceleration is a vector quantity. So we have ax and ay. Now the time over which this acceleration occurs is 0.050 seconds. And they want us to figure out the horizontal and vertical velocities of the football. So Vx and Vy. So I'm going to use a kinematics equation. We're looking for the velocity in the x, okay, to the right, okay, that the football achieves. So since we know the time and the acceleration, and we know it starts from rest, so I'm going to just write here that the original velocity is 0. We can use the equation that Vx is equal to Vo plus Ax times time, where Vo, the original velocity, is 0. Ax would be equal to A times the cosine of theta. So substituting, we get 340 meters per second squared times the cosine of 51 degrees. That all multiplied by 0.05 seconds. Okay, so that would be the velocity in the x. The velocity in the y, using the same equation, we have an original velocity of 0. Now this would be the original velocity in the x is 0. The original velocity in the y would also have to be 0, plus the acceleration in the y times time. The acceleration in the y would be equal to A times the sine of theta times delta t. Substituting, we have 340 meters per second squared times the sine of the angle, which is given as 51 degrees. And then we multiply that by the time, 0.05 seconds. Okay, so let's see what we get. So Vx. I get 10.7 meters per second for Vx. And for Vy, sine of 51 times 340 times 0.05. I get 13.2 meters per second.